Alright, hello again. We're back with our Mitt making workshop with Carol O'Donnell.
Hi.
Yay! So we cut out all our pieces last week, so we're going to start sewing this week.
Now, this is what we cut out.
Our pattern.
Our pattern was 3 pieces. And then when we're done cutting on one side, we turned it over and we did the other side. We got one right and one left. And the reason is for that is so when you're sewing them together, you're going to have one right hand and one left hand. Make sure that you do that, because if you don't, you're going to have 2 rights or 2 lefts. That's okay, but everybody knows you got 2 right. You only got 1 right hand and 1 left hand. So I always share it with my left myself. And so, and I always use 2 markers. So I can color coat them, so I know that which color I'm using for. This is my left, and the blue is my right. And so I'm going to start sewing for my thumb.
Okay, you want to sew that one first, or the leather?
Well, actually, I'm just going to show on the liner first. Okay, so right on the first corner. When you look at it like that,
Zoom in.
you put it right in the corner. You pick it up, and that's where you start sewing. From there to there. So you sew that. And then you sew. Then when you're done that, you sew all the rest. And then you'll see that it'll come together real fast. And then you'll do your mitt.
Okay, you want me to start that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start where the points where she said, and what you're going to do is you're going to sew around the mitt. So you're going over.
Like slip knot.
Yeah, it's just going over. So you can see it going around the side of the edge of the mitt. And for me, I like to make a knot every so often, so that if I have to rip it out, I'm only ripping out part of it, not the whole thing. So once I do that, I'm just going to keep going around. Oops. And you see I'm off the edge here, so it's like you got to back up and go over a little bit more.
And when I make my mitts too, when I cut them out, I always cut them out together. I work on one thumb at a time. Work on this thumb, then I will go back to this thumb. Then I work on the round part, then I go back to this part. I never just make the mitt and then start another mitt, because sometimes you might have one mitt bigger than the other. So this way you're ending up with mitts exactly the same. That's what you want.
Okay, so that's the first piece on the first thumb. So I'm going to tie it off. I just put another knot in there. So I actually, instead of just tying 1, 2 little knots, I have 3 little knots in there.
Yeah, make sure you tie it off real good.
And then with this piece, I'm going to start on the thumb piece. It just matches right up.
You'll see it'll match right up for you. You sew all the way around. And sometimes it's really, well, most times I use wax, beeswax, to put on my threads. especially if there's moccasins or you're using your stuff for winter, right? Going outside. And so
I'm going to go right down to where this little bump is here. And then I'm going to stop right there.
you could even mark on your liners, because nobody's going to see your liners. You can mark them, and you can write your name on them, or whatever you want to do it.
Anyway, so this one here, it gets attached to here.
So what I do is I just clip them together like this, and then I can sew them later, and I'll sew them later, and I will start doing my mitts. So what I'll do is I'll start sewing here. I got 3 pieces. Had them right.
Yeah, okay, this is the, or sorry,
This is my outside. So, yeah.
okay, so we're going this way. That way.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your piece you're going to put in the mitt. It helps stretch your mitt.
I like to start it up in the corner, because sometimes it might be a little shorter or longer. Or
Okay, you can see on this mitt that I started, I used paper clips. I have lots of paper just to hold my first piece into place. So when you're sewing the suede, if you got suede on both sides, like this mitt, it's a lot harder to sew. It's stiffer to get your needle through than it is the ones where we have the soft part on the inside and the suede on the other side. So you can see how she started up in the corner of her thumb and is coming down.
yeah, I'm going to come down because it's. If there's any extra stretch or anything, you can cut it off. But I don't cut nothing off until the end. And usually there's nothing to cut off, so. Straight.
Okay, so when you for the straight stitch, you gotta you're going straight across, and then you're back stitching halfway through your stitch. So it's not the same as going around as the inside.
Your liner.
Yeah, on the mitts you have to do a straight stitch and then back up. So I don't know if I can get in there with the camera just to show them the stitch on the next stitch.
Yeah, once I put a few more stitches on.
Okay.
Once
You're
I
gonna
don't
stab me soon.
Once I don't stab you.
So when you're sewing with thread or on your leather, it's easy if you have a piece of leather attached to your finger when you pull your needle through. It helps with keeping it, getting your needle to go through. Okay. Okay, so what she's doing, she's putting her stitch in so far, and once it goes through, her next stitch from the side that she's coming out is going to go back halfway to that other stitch.
Watch you don't poke yourself.
Yeah. Okay, see how she came up through that one spot? Now she's going to go back down a little ways before that stitch. Flip that way.
I'm sewing left-handed.
Oh. And this thread's a really thick thread, so it's really hard to break.
Plus, you do. Some people like to put wax on their thread, so, and I do. And I do double my thread for everything, except maybe on the back of moccasins, but everywhere else I do double thread. It keeps them strong, especially if you're selling them or making them for some reason that you know.
Alright, so there is one piece of the mitt, the top palm, and what we're going to do, I have a little piece left over here. So what happens is you attach it this way onto this part of the mitt. Because I have a space in here, I have to take another piece. Pass me a piece of that string.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Another piece of hide for this one. And I will attach it in here, right even with that one. And continue to go. So this will be my other piece. That'll be even and also all the way down. Okay? And then keep going. I'll put another piece here when I start here, and then I'll go all the way around and finish sewing. Okay? It's the same with Carol. Carol's is
Yep.
I think you got all yours all the way right to the end. She was able to do hers.
Yeah, right to the end. I'm gonna have to I'll piece it. That's it. Like Leslie said. I'll just put a little piece in there, like this. Make sure you put it on the same side. This is this side showing. So this is the suede side. I'll put that there, and we're going to sew that down.
Okay, and then once you got that all sewn, once that's all sewn, you're going to start on this piece. Let's say this side on your thumb is already sewn. You're going to put another piece here, going the same way as your hide. Attach it all the way around, and you're going to keep sewing all the way around till you get to the bottom of here. Okay, so if you guys got any questions, go review the videos again for the sewing. Our next session is going to be inserting the liners and cutting fur and putting fur on. Anything else we can add to this?
Nope.
No, I think that's about it.
Or you could use one big long piece if you want.
Yeah.
Like that. If you're lucky enough to get a long piece.
Did you have enough?